What's going on, everyone? I'm the Intel, and today I want to talk about the recently released Saints Row Reboot. It's been met with some very okay reviews, to say the least, and I've made a video talking about how I hope the game is good, and today I want to give my impressions on the game. Before I begin though, I want to give a major thank you and a shout out to PlayOn and Deep Silver for sending me a code for the game. I was able to check it out just one day before it launched, so not too much early access, but I was able to check it out and I got a code for the game. So I just want to mention that, just so you know that. But anyway, let's not waste any more time and dive into my thoughts on the reboot. So first I want to talk about the world of Saints Row. The world of Saints Row games have always been a major highlight for me. In Saints Row 2, Stillwater was such an incredibly designed city, and the NPCs just felt like they actually lived in the world. Like if you go to different districts, people kind of lived differently. They did different things, like they'd be doing yoga and on like laptops, running, and all more in the Altor districts. But like the trailer parks, it'd be a lot more run down, people drinking beer on the streets, crying, people sleeping on the streets. I liked that. The world had tons of variety in Stillwater. And I was definitely worried. I was hoping Santa Elisa would be better than Steelport, because Steelport, in my opinion, there wasn't much variety in the world. It was pretty boring, in my opinion. It's definitely better than Steelport, in my opinion. There's tons of little details inside the city. One is water fountains. If you find a water fountain, you can actually send your character flying in the sky. Crashed cars on the side of the road with tow trucks waiting to take them away. Both drivers fighting and like shouting at each other. There's police pulling people over. There's people trying to hitchhike on the side of the road. There's people just sitting outside their house on their porch. There's tons of variety in the city, and people feel like they actually live in the city, and it's a major positive. And the city has got tons of districts, and it's very different, each district. On the left side, you've got Marshall, it's more casinos and high tech, and then on the right, it's kind of more urban and more houses and stuff. I really like the city. It's a major highlight to the game, and it's something I'm really happy about. I was really worried about the world in the city just kind of feeling so much more like Steelport, very boring, but honestly, it feels more like Stillwater than anything. I don't think it's better than Stillwater, but it's pretty damn good. Now we talked about a good part of the game, let's talk about a bad part. The bugs and glitches are out of control in this game, but personally on PS5, I've not encountered many game-breaking glitches or crashes, but I have encountered a ton of glitches, but they've been mostly harmless and immersion-breaking, but that's not a big deal. But it's still no excuse. Just because I haven't encountered any major glitches or crashes or anything, that doesn't mean that Volition get a pass for launching a game in such a poor state. This game should not have launched with the amount of bugs and glitches it has. There's some that I'm obviously not very bothered by it, because again, I haven't had many bugs and glitches, but I've seen other people online, and I've talked to friends, and they've been having tons of bugs and glitches and crashes and game-breaking issues. It's just not okay. This game should definitely have been delayed a couple more months, into maybe next year, just because this isn't okay to launch a game this broken. But unfortunately, there's not much we can do now, but hopefully Volition will patch the game up and make it a better game in a couple months. Let's talk about gameplay now, as I find the gameplay to be fine. Fine is how I would describe the gameplay. The gameplay is exactly what I want it to be, honest, from a modern Saints Row game. It feels like a slightly more modern version of Saints Row the Third. There definitely could have been more added to the combat to make it more modern, but honestly it doesn't bother me at all. It kind of just feels like I'm playing Saints Row the Third, but it's like slightly more modern. I know some people wanted a bit more from the combat, but in my opinion it's kind of everything I wanted from a new Saints Row game. So I'm not that bothered by it. Mission design is fine, in my opinion, again. I've not encountered any standout missions. They've all been okay and fine. There's nothing I would say that, that mission, I wouldn't say any mission in particular is bad, but there's no mission I would say in particular that's really good and you need to play. I would just say about every mission is just okay so far. There's been no real standout. There's not been like Saints Row the Third's opening mission on like where you're flying around on the vault, or the second mission on the plane. There's been no mission like that so far that I've played yet in the game. Now let's shift gears to customization, which is a major highlight of this game. The amount of customization in this game is amazing. The Saints Row Reboot is the only game to ever come close to Saints Row 2's level of customization. I really like the amount of variety in clothing, weapons, and vehicles. I've spent a ton of time just looking around for new weapons, like for new styles for your weapons to make them look different, or just seeing how each car can be customized. Just grabbing a car off the street, take it into gym robs, and just see what I can do to make the car look different and look weird. I really enjoy it. It's fun. So yeah, if you like the customization of Saints Row 2, you'll probably love the Reboot's customization. It's really good. Last, but the most important part of this is the story. I don't hate the story as much as some other people do, but I don't love it or like it that much. I don't hate it. I don't hate it like some people do, but just none of the characters scream likable to me. I just don't care that much about the characters, and I'm not sure why exactly. It just hasn't clicked with me. But I will say I haven't finished the game yet. I'm about halfway through the story. I've been doing tons of side content first, so I've been playing little bits of the story, but I don't know. The story's fine, the missions are fun, and the dialogue's okay, but it just hasn't clicked with me yet. I hope it'll click with me. Maybe if I keep playing the game, maybe if I'll get a couple more missions in, maybe it'll click with me finally, but I don't know. The story is okay. So hopefully the story gets better the further you get into it, but so far of the story, I'm enjoying it. It's playable, it's fine, but I'm not loving it. It's not something I'd recommend if you like a good story, because so far it's just not been great. It's there, but it's not amazing. So those are my thoughts on the Saints Row Reboot. I still haven't beat the game, but I've put in about 10 hours over this week, and I still want to keep playing. I don't hate this game, but I don't love it either. I hope you enjoyed. I'm not going to give it like a score or anything, because again, I haven't beat the game. I don't think it's fair to give a review to a game I haven't beaten. But I have put in over 10 hours this week, so I played a ton of the game, and I still want to play more. I really do enjoy the game. It's a fun game. It truly is fun. I'd say if you're looking for something simple and fun, it is really fun. I have had a blast. But again, it's got lots of bugs and glitches. The story isn't great, but honestly, other than that, I've got no real other problems with the game. It's just the story, the bugs, the glitches, and I guess the mission design as well. Those are the only areas I feel lacking. Everything else is more than fine in my opinion. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been the Intel, and have a lovely day.